Hello and welcome to another episode of It Came From the Page. Apologies about no video on Tuesday. My entire body was broken. One, from the extreme cold we're experiencing. It's like negative 30 here, Celsius, but it a few more degrees and it won't matter because negative 40 is where both Fahrenheit and Celsius meet, which is wild. But yeah, so it's nearly that. So I'm very cold lately here, and it's not doing well on my body because my apartment building is not very well insulated, so it barely keeps out the cold. Bam, 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 bam. So I'm just dying, but that's fine. It's okay. And also, I did participate in a 14-hour Christmas live stream with Kelsey from Slime and Slashers, so I figured I gave you enough content for give me a day off. But yes, we're back. We're back. It's near the end of the year, near the end of the Christmas season. And what better way to celebrate that style of consumerist holiday than to do a good old-fashioned book haul? I have not done a book haul in a while. And it's not because I learned self-control. I don't think so. It is just because I usually get them in like small chunks and then I forget that I should just make a book haul instead of putting them on my shelves, but I put them on my shelves, but not this time because my shelves are nearly overflowing. So I get it's very obvious which ones need to be talked about because they're not properly shelved. So now, without further ado, let's do my final book haul of 2022. Not that there was very many of these, so it's not like it's like you're not going to be missing anything. Here's one I have wanted for a while. Don't know why I really want it. I don't even know if I've heard very good things about it, but for whatever reason, this cover calls to me like a siren call because I want to know what the f*** is going on. It looks like there's like a mutant dude with a knife who's about to stab a bunch of people. I mean, go for him. But yeah, this is The Forgotten by Stephen R. George. I don't know, hopefully it's good. If you cannot tell, I got this one from Thrift Books, and I'm about to make you all depressed. Bam, bam, bam! The stickers suck at Thrift Books. Don't worry, there's not too many of those, but there are a few. Here's one I bought from my local cat rescue. This is Club Dead by Jerry Oster. It just kind of looks cool. I just like the way it looks. I'm not really a big crime fiction person, but I also don't hate crime fiction, so maybe I'll like this. It looks like it takes place in the cold. And, yeah, it just has a cool name. Club Dead. Are you alive? No, bitch. I'm Club Dead. Next up, here is a little anthology I got that really I bought because it felt like it had to be in my library because of the name of my channel. It came from the drive-in. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. And look, it's a little dinosaur. He's coming out with he's got a little car in his hands. How do you do that? Dinosaurs, that T-Rex doesn't have good arm strength, but he's lifting that truck, lifting that car, so good for him. Can't wait. I've always loved drive-in movies as like a genre. Obviously, I haven't been able to spend much time actually in drive-ins watching them, but as a whole, I've always enjoyed that specific style of B-movie, and I would love to read some stories that are using that style. Next up, Full Moonster by Nick Pelota. To be completely honest, I only bought this one because the cover looks cool. There's a man with the Uzi, and then there is, a werewolf. And I'm like, what's going on? This is from a series. Apparently it's like a series called Bureau 13. But I'm sure I can just read this and I just want to know why a man has Uzi and why a werewolf is afraid of Uzi. Why would he be afraid? He's a werewolf. He shouldn't be afraid of an Uzi. Next up, this is a this is a prequel to the movie Terminator Salvation. Why did I buy this? Because I have a problem with movie tie-ins, and this is one of them. For a movie nobody really remembers, but weirdly enough, this is written by Timothy Zahn, and Timothy Zahn actually also wrote another Terminator Salvation novel. If you don't know Timothy Zahn, I best know him from early Star Wars books, where he pretty much invented one of the main characters in like post the movie Star Wars, which would be Grand Admiral Thrawn. that they've kind of been bringing into like movies and TV shows now. Yeah, that was created by Timothy Zahn, and apparently now he wrote a Terminator Salvation prequel. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Or maybe it's good. I don't know. Next up is the thing that I'm probably most excited about in my entire life. No moment is better than this moment here. This is Grizzly, the movie novelization for William Girdler's Grizzly. And if you don't know, William Girdler's Grizzly is a Jaws ripoff, but it is the greatest thing anyone has ever seen. It is amazing. If you've not seen Grizzly, it depends on who you are. If you like cheesy movies and you like seeing a grizzly bear maul a child, then you love it. And you know me, love that shit. So I love Grizzly. And I am so excited to get my hands on the movie novelization. I'm sure it's not a great movie novelization, but I don't even care. I don't even care. I needed this in my life. It needed to be something. It was a missing piece of me, is now complete due to owning Grizzly, the movie novelization. Speaking of bears, but not grizzlies this time, but polar, this is Cage. And you might be looking at this and like, what? I don't see no bear. What are you talking about, Andrew? Did you lie to me? No, it's a step back. Oh my god, the polar bear's coming to get her. Oh my gosh. She's so sad. She's like, why am I in this cage? And a polar bear is coming to get me. I don't know what's going on in that book, but I want to. Next up, I bought this because the cover looks stupid. What is going on here? A Dangerous Age. Is he dressed like Ronald Reagan? Why is he shooting someone near all the wine? You can't start a shootout near wine. The wine will go bad. What's going on? What's going on? I don't know. But I bought it. Next up, one that I'm sure is probably going to be some form of offensive age as far as age goes. But I don't know. Maybe it'll be good. This is Blood Offerings. Yeah, this just looks really cool. I just really like the way that this cover looks. Now, I am almost 100% certain that this will be offensive in some form or another. It does look cool, though, and hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's super progressive. I doubt it. Next up, Michael McDowell book, The Elementals. I like the way that this, look at this. Some blood is coming there. You gotta do something about, your sink if it's like leaking blood and it's getting all over your lawn. That's not good. I've not read a single Michael McDowell book, but I own a lot of them, so I'm gonna definitely do that in the new year, and I'm excited to add this one to the pile. Another movie novelization. This is Rambo: First Blood Part 2, and you might be wondering, Andrew, I don't even think you like Rambo. And you're right. I don't really care for Rambo that much. The movie especially. American jingoism off the charts. But I am very, very curious for one specific reason, is that the book Rambo First Blood, that original novel, is written by David Morrell. So is the novelization for the sequel that he didn't write. So this is crazy to me, because there are no two pieces of art more different than Rambo First Blood and Rambo First Blood Part 2, because the first Rambo movie is like, war is bad, and it really fucks up people, and, maybe we should think about war and not loving it. It's not great. And then the rest of the Rambo series is like, bam, 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 America, fuck yeah. And then it just explode everything. So I'm really interested in what the writer of the original book makes of the sequel. Like, that's such a bizarre concept to me that I was just like, I had to get it. Speaking of things I had to get, this is the novelization for Basic Instinct. I mean, if you know, you have to get that. It's a law. It's a law. If you find that, you have to get it. Here's another one, The Wolf That Whispered Death. So this is either a werewolf story or a detective story where a wolf appears. Either way, I'm down. I like wolves. They're cool. They got them little snouts. I'm pro wolf. Next up, this is Creatures. Richard Mason's Creatures. Now, this is an animal attacks book about killer crocodiles, I believe, or alligators. Nope, they're crocodiles. They're crocky boys. So, killer crocky boys. And I've been looking for this for ages. This is one that's not very easy to find. I'm really happy that I got it for a half decent price. It looks kind of dirty on the top, which sucks. But other than that, I'm excited to finally read this. There's a while ago when I was reading an article on like the best animal attacks books from that early era of animal attacks books, which is like the mid 70s to the early 80s, and this was one of them. So gotta read that. Next up, a book that I've been looking at for a while, and then I finally decided to order it. On My Honor. Why did I order this one? I like the look of the blood. Like, this looks like it's like a Friday 13th poster. Like, you could probably just make this and put Friday 13th on it and release it in theaters tomorrow. I'm very excited. It says, they swore to uphold the sacred code. Now, I'm not exactly sure. Oh my god. The main police officer in this is a guy named Henry Axe. I'm going to guess it was him. He's the murderer. Henry Axe is the murderer. Sorry, guys. Solved it for you. Won't have to read that book now. This is a classic. Richard Matheson's The Shrinking Man. I have wanted to read this for ages, and I just found a really cool looking copy of it at my local used bookstore. So I was like, heck yeah, I have to read this. It's a classic. I have read a few other Matheson works, but I haven't got to this one, so I will definitely be getting to that one soon. Here is probably the dumbest movie tie-in I may have ever bought, which is saying something, considering that I have, even in this haul, bought a prequel to Terminator Salvation. This is I believe this is a novel sequel to the Wing Commander live-action movie. If you've never seen that movie, it's bad. It's bad. And I just have to know what a novel sequel to the Wing Commander movie is like. Because, like, this is a terrible movie that no one remembers. It's a very obscure, terrible movie from the 90s. And I cannot wait to experience it in novel form. Now, I know there was a series of Wing Commander video games that people seem to enjoy. This is clearly not connected to those, though. So we're only going off of the terrible movies, okay? Don't come at me in the comments. Here's a Christmas gift. Wow. Wow. And this was from my mother. And this is Nala's World. It's a book about a traveling cat. Obviously, that's my shit. That's my jam. Nala's World. Nala, tell me about your world. I want to know. So I'm excited for that. Next up, it's probably embarrassing that you have seen me spend money on not one Terminator novel, but two Terminator novels here. And let me explain. This is Terminator 2, Hour of the Wolf. This is a book that was released after Terminator 3. They're still doing Terminator 2 books after Terminator 3. I don't understand, really. But it's fine. You don't need to understand. You just need to know that Skynet is back. Wow. He's gonna get him. This is the one Terminator book that's actually worth a little bit of money. Like, it normally kind of goes for $60-$70. So when I found it for $7 online, you bet your tuchus I bought it. So I am very, very excited for this. I'm very excited for this. I don't know if it'll be good. Could be terrible. I don't even know what it's really about. I'm not going to read the back to you. I'm going to let my imagination take hold and imagine a world where there was never a Terminator 3 and there was only Terminator 2, Hour of the Wolf. Terminator 2. That would be like a cool ballet. We should make that ballet. Nobody wants to make that ballet. It's fun. Here's a thing I found in a little free library, and that is The Mammoth Book of Short Horror Novels. Now, I believe I saw this in the background of Kat's Novels Adventures. I think she owns this. I think she owns a copy of this behind her when she talks. That does sound weird. Does that sound weird? Is that a weird thing to say? I notice you own this book behind you in your bookshelves. I'm sorry if it's weird. If Kay said it's weird, I never said anything. But I am really excited for this because this is a lot of little short stories, and for whatever they're calling it short novels, but I don't even think half of these are novellas. I think most of them are short stories. But yeah, by people like T.D. Klein, and I really liked some of his work that I read in the Shadows 2 book. I really liked his little thing in that, and I know he's supposed to be a really good author. Algernon Blackwood is in here. Not ever read any Algernon Blackwood in here. So yeah, there's a lot of like really good, really famous stories in here. There's also a Stephen King one in here, but it's the stupid monkey ones from Skeleton Crew. Oh god, Skeleton Crew is not good, and especially not that story about a monkey that just goes and they're like, oh, this monkey. Oh, I hate this monkey. That's the entire plot. Of that Stephen King one. He hates the monkey. I will not read that one again. I will just skip that one. Here's another thing that I bought because it was stupid, but then I started reading and it sounded actually kind of interesting. This is How to Write Tales of Horror, Fantasy, and Science Fiction. Now, I thought this was written by J.N. Williamson, which is why I bought it, because I thought that would be hilarious, because quite frankly, I don't think J.N. Williamson's a great writer, so I would love to see what he's going to tell me about how to make books. But it's only edited by him. But the thing that's actually kind of cool about this is there is a lot of very famous horror authors who have little segments in this book. Like I saw there's a few Robert R. McCammon stuff in here. There's the dreaded evil demon Dean Koontz in here. Unfortunately, J.N. Williamson himself does provide some, which is cool. And there's just kind of like another kind of a smattering of other pretty famous horror authors that kind of contribute to this particular book. What is very funny though is that like you're ranking in all of these, like horror, fantasy, and science fiction. Most of the people who are writing in this are horror authors, so I don't really know why the other two are here. Regardless, I'm kind of excited to dive into this now. I thought it was going to be dumb and funny, but now it's like, damn, could I be this man with a floppy disk and this alien lady handing me a thing while little goblin is behind me? That goblin's Loomis, so that much is true. And yeah, I am a person who probably would buy some floppy disks if I found them. Yeah, I'm a loser. Anyways, last but certainly not least is The Vampire Encyclopedia by Matthew Bunson. See, vampires are cool, right? Like, vampires are cool. People like me who are like nerds who love vampires, they try to make vampires uncool. And one of the ways that we have succeeded in life is one of us wrote the Vampire Encyclopedia, which takes the coolest thing. Like, vampires are not supposed to be encyclopedias. They're supposed to be in raves. They're supposed to be like, and like they're supposed to be partying or like drinking wine at fancy places. But no, us nerds, we have to go and be like, well, I believe we need an encyclopedia for all of the vampires. So one of us nerds wrote this, and I'm very excited to read and experience the Vampire Encyclopedia. It is exactly what you think it is. It's like an encyclopedia that's full of like vampire folklore. And we got some photos. That's cool. Is that going to get me flagged? Nah, you can't tell. It's cave paintings. It's art. You can't flag me for art. So yeah, no, this is the Vampire Encyclopedia, and that is it. That is a haul. The Halls of Adventure. Oh, nope, can't take that. That is copywritten. Although, I mean, Michael K. Vaughan's not going to be doing a Hall of Adventure for like 10 years, probably. Halls of Adventures. That's what it was. Bye!